Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and I'm a recovering addict and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you how I got clean. So getting clean was definitely a very hard process. I wanted to get clean long before I actually did. Um, I started partying at around 15, but I started using really hard drugs around 18 and I got clean a few years ago. So like I said, I really wanted to get clean a long time before I actually did. I used to see these people that would just like wake up one day and it would click and they would just never want to get high again. And I would wish so bad that that would happen to me. And I couldn't understand like why these other people could just wake up and decide not to get high, but I couldn't. Like I used to feel so guilty. I would like stay up and cry after I got high. I would like argue with myself the whole time. Like, I would be like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I hate doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. And yeah, I would still do it. And then slowly, my life just started to fall apart. And I mean, even more than it already was. And these few things really just helped, like, wake me up. The first one, I think, was getting caught getting high in my daughter's dentist office. My daughter was going for a dentist appointment, and I was really sick, and I had, like, a little bit with me. It wasn't even really worth it. It was basically just a rinse. But I was really, really sick, so I went into the dentist bathroom and it had a really horrible lock on it. It was like one of those single person bathrooms, and the lock was not very good, and I thought it was locked. And somebody walked in while I was using, and I got kicked out of my daughter's dentist office and sent to the hospital and all this other stuff. And it was just so embarrassing. It was humiliating. It made me feel like the worst mom in the world. And then, I also kept getting arrested and I got put on probation and then I violated my probation and part of my probation stipulations was for me to have to go to an inpatient rehab. And when I went to this inpatient rehab, it was like the worst rehab in the world. But I got kicked out because my boyfriend at the time snuck me in some meth and I went and did it in the bathroom and got super paranoid. And they could tell I was high, so they drug tested me and I got sent to jail because I failed the rehab program. And getting sent to jail was definitely also an eye opener because I had to spend all that time away from my daughter and I hated it and I said I never wanted to go back to jail again. Like if I didn't have a kid, I don't feel like it would have been that bad, but having a kid, it was really hard being away from her and I just didn't want to do it anymore. Um, Also, these aren't really, I can't remember exactly what order all these happened in, so that's why I'm just kind of naming the things because they all kind of happened kind of close together. I know in um, August of 2016, I got raped out in an alley being dumb and ended up getting pregnant from it. And then because I was still like I was trying to quit using. I went and got on Subutex and all that stuff, but like I still really wasn't done using at the time. I was kind of switching back and forth. Like I would be clean and then I would get high and then I'd be clean and then I'd get high. And I had all these outpatient rehabs to do and just like all this stuff and the baby situation was just very complicated and so I ended up giving the baby up for adoption and that also like really hurt and made me realize like how bad I needed to stop, I guess. Like between the going to jail, the getting kicked out of my daughter's dentist office, having to give my baby up for adoption, it was all just like all these horrible things was just piling up and I was finally just like I woke up one day. Jail's really what did it. Like all the other stuff definitely helped, but jail, being away from my daughter is what really kind of woke me up and was like, I don't want to do this anymore because my family had always been like really gracious about letting me see her. And they were getting to the point where they wouldn't let me see her anymore if I didn't stop getting high. And so I finally decided I'm really going to try to quit getting high. And for the most part, I was pretty successful. I was able to stay away from it. I got my own apartment. I was on methadone. But my boyfriend kept getting high still, and he would mostly do it behind my back, but every now and then he would, like, once he's seen how antsy I would start getting after a while, and, like, because he could get high for a while and it wouldn't bother me too much as long as he hit it good. But then after a while, I could tell he was high all these times, and it just made me keep wanting it and wanting it and wanting it. So I would relapse every now and then. Like, I would be clean for a while, and then I would relapse. Also, when I got out of jail was, um, I'm trying to remember if it was 2017 or 2018. I think it was in 2017 that I ended up getting out of jail. And I really didn't start getting clean up till about 2018 when I got on the methadone. Um, so I know I would, like, get high. I would stay clean for like a few weeks to months, and then after a while my boyfriend would be getting high, and then he would put it in front of my face and try to tempt me to do it, and every now and then I would do it. So I really started making my big attempt to get high in 2018, but between my boyfriend constantly bringing it around, also in the beginning of me trying to get high, Suboxone clinics weren't a huge thing, and the closest one was like an hour or so away, and I kept having to take the Medicaid cab to go get them, but the Medicaid cab was not very reliable, and so I would miss appointments all the time and ended up being sick from Suboxone, and that would cause me to relapse. So I think the first time I got arrested was for shoplifting in December of 2016, and then I I completed all that. I got community service and did all the things. That's a story for another day. And then I got arrested again for having a needle on me, and I got put on probation, and that's what started the me going to jail thing, because I never really had like huge charges, but I kept getting caught with needles on me, and I did like 2 weeks in jail, and then probation, and then I messed up the probation, and then my probation officer was really lenient with me and kept giving me chances over and over again, but finally he just said, "I'm done. You're going to jail." But I really believe that jail is what helped me the most. So I guess you could say my not exactly clean date, but my not strung out date is like the beginning of 2018. But then, like I said, after that, I would stay sober for months, and then I would relapse, and then I'd stay sober for 4 months, and then I'd relapse, and then I'd stay sober for 4 months and relapse. So I honestly don't know my actual clean date. I just know I haven't been strung out since before 2018. But I did get high off and on after 2018. And then in 2020, my boyfriend at the time ended up getting me evicted from my home, and I had to move back in with my family, and they live out in the country, and my boyfriend is not allowed anywhere near or my ex-boyfriend. I don't know why I keep saying my boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend anymore, but my boyfriend at the time, my ex now, was not allowed on our property, so he could not come anywhere near me. So between being away from him and with my family and away from everybody, that's when I really started like getting and staying clean. And so now I've been clean, like not just no strung out, but I've been like clean with no drugs in general since 2020. So from 2018 to 2020, I'd say I wasn't really clean, but I wasn't strung out. I was like dabbling, like I said. And then 2020 is when I really started like making the push to get clean, because I'm living with my family again, and my daughter's old enough to where she would notice, and it just helped a lot being away from my boyfriend at the time. So yeah, I guess 2020 is when you could say I actually really got clean. I also quit the methadone. I still take one Suboxone every day, and I'm working on getting off of those, but I don't want to withdraw because then I'm afraid I might relapse again. So I'm taking my time with the Suboxone and only taking one a day and working on weaning myself down. But other than that, I'm clean still, and I don't have any plans on going back to using ever again. So that is my story on how I got clean. Thank you for watching.